GameStop to permanently close over 300 stores. Oh my God. No, this GameStop's been closing stores. They've been, consolidating. A lot has been going on. They were recently in the news last week. I almost made a video about how they're forcing their employees to still come into work even amongst the shelter in place and the non-essential businesses to close down. And now they just released their earnings and they said, there's going to be some hiccups coming up. They're going to close some stores, which from a business model, this makes total sense. You want to reduce costs and you want to increase revenues. I mean, it's pretty simple. And supposedly GameStop is cash flow positive. They still have over 5,000 stores. So this isn't like a doomsday thing that a lot of other people are making out to be. However, I am concerned with retail in general. I don't care if you're GameStop or you're Kohl's. I think this coronavirus is going to change the retail landscape for good. And, here I am in quarantine, growing out the beard, just like many other people that aren't out there shopping retail. Now, we could shop online, but I have to say there's bigger players out there. You got Amazon. So another reason why I wanted to show this video is look at this crazy unemployment claims, people out of a job, people concerned for their health. It seems like it's just a collapse, a total world collapse. And my opinion is it's definitely something we should be taking seriously. I think the people that are just blowing this off are being way too, avoiding of the situation. And then there's other people that are just taking it way to the far extreme as well. But as I mentioned, I'm staying as far away from social distancing. I'm, taking good care of my body, washing my hands, and being very careful because it's not just me. It's also my family. So we need to stop thinking about ourselves for a while and just think about the greater good. I do think it's kind of great that we're finally realizing that, hey, frontline employees, people who stock our shelves, the cashiers, the servers, like these are a big part of the world and we should be respecting these people. So great that we finally realized that, but at the same time, there's a lot going on. So take care of yourselves. Without your health, there's nothing else. So I just want to get that across, that whatever's happening, your 401k is tanking, you lost your job, whatever. At the end of the day, take care of yourself. There's lots of resources. We got the stimulus package coming out. A lot of other countries are following suit. It's gonna be a rough ride. So as I mentioned when I started the video, it was mixed results. They had some revenue growth, they closed some stores, they're concerned about the PS5 and the Xbox Series delay. We had 2 big game launches recently that helped them out. So mixed news. As I mentioned, I really hope GameStop doesn't go under. Just because I think competition in general is good. I'm honestly concerned that you're going to have Amazon gobbling up everything and it's going to be Twitch stop. It's going to be Amazon Twitch stop. And, the Amazon hasn't done any kind of monopoly behavior yet as far as price gouging. They do have monopoly behavior. Don't get me wrong. They have accumulated a lot of companies and they are competing in a lot of industries. I don't know how many of you have seen this before, but Amazon's guide to conquering the world, you're gonna see Amazon game. They don't even have Amazon gaming. They have Twitch on here, but they already sell a lot of the stuff that GameStop already sells. They're competing with GameStop. So it's just a matter of time till we see them conquer that. But Amazon is opening retail stores, so that'll be interesting. Maybe they just take over those stores. We'll see. I did want to just say that, I've always had decent experiences at GameStop. I actually enjoy going to the mall and walking into a GameStop and just seeing what's there. I love the secondhand section. I've bought Wii games. I bought 2 Wii U's from GameStop. I have to say I agree with a lot of people that the GameStop name still has a lot of value. I just don't see this company dying. I mean, there's a reason why this guy Camelot can make so many games. He's been making for years, for over a year now. He's built a channel on just, saying how much it sucks working for GameStop and how bad of a company GameStop is. But I mean, a lot of people complain about a lot of companies. especially retail in general. And so I want to talk about this whole coronavirus thing. GameStop is doing this thing where they delivery at the door. And I was reading this response. I haven't done this yet, but basically you roll down your window, you hand them your credit card, they run in the store, they charge your credit card, they bring it back with a slip and your stuff, and that's it. Seems like a drug deal, I know, but that is how they're doing it now. And then you can still order online. And then they still have their trade-in programs and their secondhand. Like I said, Nintendo Wii U, you could get older systems. Some of them are decent deals. Like I said, the Wii U, I actually highly recommend buying a Wii U from GameStop. That was a good experience for me. And speaking of good experiences, I was reading online, and a lot of people have really good experiences about their local GameStop. They're knowledgeable, they're fun, they, they're good for they make the community better. And so, it's definitely mixed in that regard. So while I agree with this gentleman, especially with his experience, if he is telling the truth, he had a really shady manager. They said they would do promotions, or they said they'd do certain things and then they wouldn't. There's also some shady practices about, upselling people or getting people to join things that they didn't necessarily want to. But I mean, how is this any different than your local bank? I mean, I don't know about all of you, but I've had experiences at banks where it's like, oh, you should open this account, and oh, you should be doing this. Or sign up for this club, even just your grocery store. So a lot of these practices are very common in retail to date. So while I don't think we should be pointing the finger at GameStop, I think, a lot of these business practices are pretty normal. Again, I'm speaking in the US market. I know when you leave the US market, it's very different. But here in the US, especially, we don't currently, it's kind of changing, but as far as privacy and getting people's information, the way the advertising industry works in general, it's pretty loose here, I would say, compared to other countries. So there's that, there's the practice, and then there's the fact of how they treat their employees. And that, I can get behind this guy, that you have to treat they're people. You have to, give them a wage, don't cut their hours, work with them. If they don't feel comfortable working during an epidemic like this, then you should let them stay home. Now, as far as how to pay them or whatever, I don't want to get into that. We have a long road ahead to figure all this out. I know we have the stimulus package coming up soon. You have companies like Starbucks who are paying their employees for 30 days, whether they work or not. I'm not saying GameStop should do that. I don't even think they're in a financial point to even do that, but maybe the stimulus package will help them. But I do think it's a little, if you are caught exploiting your employees, that sucks, and you should definitely be exposed for that. So for that, I can agree with. And then I would just say a lot of this guy's videos, though, what I want to comment with, it's just retail in general. I worked at Sears. I hated it. It was an awful job. I didn't like it. I'm not saying that people can't find fun in retail. I mean, if you get the right boss, you get the right company, you get something you're passionate about, great. But I would probably make this many videos about my time at Sears, how much it sucked. There were certain employees who were making commission while others weren't. People were getting better hours than other people's hours. I mean, that's pretty, I know about all your experiences, but that was always a common experience when I used to work retail. So back to retail in general, I don't know, maybe I'm a romantic about this, but like I said, I like the ability to leave my house and go to a GameStop, or leave my house. And I've always wanted to make an internet cafe. My brother and I would always joke, or a retro arcade as well. And if you see, they're not very common. I definitely think there's some, you'd have to like cross over. My idea has always been like a laundromat that's also a bar, that's also a retro arcade. So if anybody wants to go into business with me, let me know. But I think you have to have multiple revenue streams. The idea of just selling games, or just selling accessories, or just selling retail is tough. Now, GameStop, again, like I said, they do the trade-in program. I know they've done subscription boxes. They've messed around with other arenas. I think there's money to be made in the service industry, like fixing games and things like that. So I think there's more opportunity. But I wanted to bring this point up, though, because I'm glad that my brother and I never opened something, because it's just so tough out there. It's really tough for retail. And to the point of this video, it's only going to get tougher. And so, what do you all think? Do you think I'm maybe overreacting, that everything's going to be back to normal? Or do you think, I've talked to my brother-in-law about this, that not just retail, the world in general will never be the same after what's going on right now. And so it's compounded by GameStop here and their news and their business model. But just take retail in general. Are we on to something totally new and different? I know a lot of people are saying a lot more people are going to work remotely than ever before because they're realizing that their jobs can be worked from home. Is retail going to be changed? Like the way the store itself operates and online ordering. I can go on and on. I think there's going to be long-term effects. And if you're in another country, let me know what's going on with you. I mean, are you seeing similar things or maybe the opposite? So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.